Hello, everyone. Hello. Hi. Hi, everyone. Hi, Brooke. I'm sorry I didn't get to watch your oils one today. I actually put some oils on for this live. So, hi, Kat. Hi, Heather. But I would love to learn more, Brooke. I have all kinds of oils, but I never really know much about them. I know geraniums for the heart. I put clary sage on my third eye today. Hi, Brandy love. Yay for oils. Hi, Marete. Good evening. Um, all right. So I've been sitting with this subject and just trusting that the messages that want to come through are going to come through in the way they're going to come through. I watched part of Brandy's message today, and it's interesting at the energy that I was feeling today from the collective was just this really huge heart opening. This reminder that it's all okay. This reminder that we are loved beyond our comprehension, and we are loved beyond anything we can understand, and that message really needs to be felt right now. So I just want to bring some attention to the heart right now. I want to bring some attention to allowing our hearts to kind of open up a little bit more right now. So as I'm speaking and as I'm bringing in these messages about our ego and this evolution that we're going through, I really want whoever's on this call to really experience their heart to be activated a little bit more, opened up a little bit more. We have moved through our life and our lifetimes with a very closed heart. Most of us have had some pretty difficult life experiences and have protected and closed our hearts because of that. And so learning how to open that back up and to trust our heart is really, really important, to be able to feel the love, not only for yourself, but the love that all of these amazing beings around you have is important. And just being gentle with yourself with that and allowing that to kind of open up more, because that is also part of this evolution. That is part of this. Hi, Katie. Hi, Joe. That is part of this awakening, is that the heart is opening. And it's like the words are all great, right? Like, oh, the heart's opening. We're heart consciousness. We're expanding our hearts. And I was really, I really felt today when I was sitting with this collective energy. And it's that our hearts are so closed, even when we talk about opening our hearts. And when I feel into a Dhamma and when I feel into this fifth dimensional energy that we're moving to, their hearts are so wide open. Their hearts are emanating this light that when you feel it, when you feel their love, it's unbelievable, right? And if you've channeled beings, if you've felt the masters, if you've felt their love, when you experience that energy, it's like nothing you've ever experienced before. And that is where we are moving towards. And so knowing that our hearts, unfortunately, are so closed, it's learning, or even not learning. You don't really have to do anything. You don't have to learn anything. Allowing the heart to kind of start to surrender itself, right? And so during this call right now, as I'm talking, I am asking that every single being allow this amazing, beautiful, golden, yellow illumination flame to gently move into their hearts. And even if nobody has any experience or understands any of what is being done, I am asking that it is done. I feel like it's a very important thing right now to experience and to have us feel. And so part of the subject today was the ego, right? And one of the messages that came through that Adama really wanted me to share with you guys today was this understanding that there is absolutely nothing we need to do. So we are living in the word matrix kept coming up for me, and I don't really know where that's coming from, but it's just what is being given to me. So we are living in this matrix, and we are moving through this evolution, right? And our egos, our beautiful, 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 beautiful egos, are part of this structure. Our egos are part of this experience. And if we didn't have our ego, if we didn't have this structure around us to help us move through our lives, we wouldn't be able to function, right? Our egos are a beautiful part of the entire dynamic of being here. Our ego is just as important as our heart. Our ego is just as important as the blood that is running through our body right now. Our ego is a very, very beautiful part of this process. And so it is not a good or a bad or a right or a wrong when we are looking at ego. People say, oh, the ego, you need to, destroy the ego or kill the ego, or, looking at the ego as something that needs to be taken over or pushed aside, or you have to learn how to, dismantle it. It's like, no, you don't. You have to do that with your heart. You don't have to do anything like that with your ego. What we're learning to do is to acknowledge how beautiful the ego is. Thank you, God, for my ego, because I'm sure the freak wouldn't have gotten through my life without it, nor would I be able to right now. What you have to understand is that the ego isn't you, right? The ego's role is to structure your life. The ego's role is to help you understand duality, right? The ego's beautiful role is to allow you to feel pain, insecurity, jealousy, judgment. I'm not good enough. I'm not skinny enough. I'm fat. I'm stupid. I'm lazy, right? So we have all these ideas that our ego has built as part of our belief system. And so now what we are being asked to do is to shine some very powerful light onto this ego, right? Like, wow, so these are the thoughts. These are the ideas. These are the things I've been thinking about myself and others for so long. Great. And it's not who I am. Just as you're learning that your body, your physical body, is really not who you are, right? But it's your experience. So your ego is your experience here. So we're playing with this understanding of, yes, this is who I am here physically. I've got this body and this ego and this mind, but it's not who I am. And so how do you play with both of those, right? How do you start to balance more of your spirit, more of your light being, more of your I am presence and higher self? How do you start to acknowledge that that is who you are, and that this construct of the ego and this physical body is just allowing you to experience the planet, right? And so as we ascend, as we evolve, whether you're sitting on a couch all day long watching TV or whether you're actively involved in this process, it doesn't matter, it's still going to happen. You're still moving through the evolution, whether you freaking are vegan, whether you watch television, whether listen, God bless everybody on this planet and for everything that they're going through and they're doing. But there's no right or wrong way of doing this. So you can sit on a couch all day long, watch TV, eat popcorn, and have a pint of ice cream, and you're still just as important, just as powerful, just as magnificent. Your heart is exactly the same as everyone else's. Your light is exactly the same as everyone else's. Your higher self is just as powerful. Your I am presence is just as magnificent as anyone else's, including the person that's making $1 million standing on that stage, speaking some magnificent language about life and spirit and this is what you need to do to get to where you need to go. Remember that the person on the couch, struggling with their life, maybe they're a freaking painter or an electrician or doing something they can't stand, and they come home and they watch TV all night long and they go to bed and they wake up. They are just as powerful as anybody else. And they're going through the exact same experience as we are. We have just decided that we want to participate in this. I'd like to learn more about what this freaking ascension is. I'd like to learn what my gifts are. That electrician sitting on the couch watching TV all day long, he has just the same amount of gifts as everybody else that's doing these amazing gift things, right? That are channeling and using crystals to speak to them and having, extraterrestrial experiences at night, right? He just doesn't give a shit and doesn't want to go through it. He's like, listen, I'm going to bow out on all of that. I'm just going to chill out here, get through my life, and then when it's happening, it's happening. When I'm feeling that calling of like, okay, it's time, then it's time, and it's his time, But until then, he's still getting all the downloads. He's still getting all the light. He's still just as powerful, right? And so what we're being asked to remember and to do is that allow the ego and your light, allow the ego and your mind, allow the ego and your I am presence to begin to merge. And there is nothing that you need to do, but if you wanted to practice, really getting an understanding of what this looks like and what this means, it would mean starting to step outside of your body, right? So starting to look at your life from above. So as you're going through your day, and you're hearing these voices of like, someone's at my door. So weird. Maybe it's Jesus. As you're going through your day, hold on one sec. Yeah. Hi.
I have something for you here.
Okay.
I need you to sign for it.
Okay.
So I have two things. Sign this. I have a pen for you right here. Thank you. And then I need you to sign right on the top. All right, thank you very much.
Thank you. Have a good day.
You too.
I'm back. Perfectionism. You never know what's going to happen, so never have any anticipation of what you want the things to look like, right? UPS might just come during an IG Live. Okay, so we're merging our beautiful egos. So loud, so crazy. One of the things you can do if you're deciding to participate in all of this, right, and you want to kind of like maybe make this process a little bit easier, start stepping away from yourself. So start moving out of the matrix, so to speak. Start moving out of being in it, right? So instead of being in it and experiencing it, like, oh my God, this is me. Oh my gosh, look at my thoughts. Look at what I'm feeling and thinking about myself. Step outside of yourself and start to look down. Okay, so start to watch. You're the observer, right? So we've all heard this language and these teachings before, but practice this. Practice looking at your experience. Practice looking at this beautiful ego from a distance, from a place outside of yourself, and watch it. So there's no attachment to it, right? So, for instance, this morning I woke up and my ego was telling me that I should not be doing these IG lives, that I don't know what I'm talking about, that people are going to think I'm crazy if I actually do what's feeling called for me to do, right? And how I want to present it. And so what I did was I looked at that, and I just watched it, right? I just saw it as something separate from me. And I just kept moving through my next step, right? So I took a shower, right? I listened to the messages coming in. I sat down, I lit my candles. I still heard that beautiful voice. There it was, right? Okay, great. Thank you so much. I hear you, And then stepping outside of yourself as much as you can to look down on it, to watch it. And the more you can do that with anything in your life, right, is stepping outside of it. You are not it, right? You are not it. So learning how to do that, that's the challenge of kind of moving back and forth through this 3 and 5 frequency, right? Is beginning to learn how you are not everything we thought we were. And as you do this, you're gonna start watching everybody else. You're gonna be able to really see all the egos playing out in the world, right? And beginning to have compassion for that, compassion for the fact that there is this structure called the ego, and that we are all so attached to it. And thank God for that, and how beautiful our little playground is here on earth, and that's all it is. Adama came in very strongly, and he wanted me to really get this, have you guys feel this really intensely, that this is just a playground, and that you are not who you think you are, right? So to have so much compassion for yourself, the amount of love he wishes that he could throw onto you brings me to tears. Because we do not love ourselves the way they love us. We do not have compassion for ourselves the way they do. And it's not our fault. It's what we decided we wanted to come down and do, right? And so having compassion for your experiences, having compassion for the person next to you, having that understanding that you don't need anything other than what's inside of you. You don't need to look to anybody for information. You don't need to take any course. You don't need to look up to anybody. It's all inside of you. Everything you need, every answer you need is inside of you. The universe is inside of you. So he says, I understand this game you guys play. I understand this hierarchy that is on the planet, that that there is a teacher, and that your ego believes that you need to listen to a teacher, right? Or you need to follow someone, or somebody knows more than you do. So there's this hierarchy, right? On our plane that we live in. There's a hierarchy. There's a sense of following. I need to follow. I need to be a part of what everyone else is being a part of. And what's happening as this energy is coming in is that's crumbling, right? We're waking up to the fact that, I don't need to listen. I don't need to follow that. They don't know more than I do. I'm the only one that knows really what I know, right? And start speaking that, and start listening to that, and start having love and compassion for yourself, that what you know inside is your truth, and that you have something to share with the world, right? We're sharing our gifts. We're sharing our knowledge. We're sharing ourselves. We're being of service to people. We are not telling people what to do. We are not telling people that I know more than you do. Again, going back to that analogy of the electrician on the couch, right? Who the freak am I to say that I know more than he does just because I speak to Adama, just because I can go into Telos, just because I have this amazing freaking Lemurian crystal sitting in front of me? I'm better than that electrician? How dare I? Absolutely not. You want to be heart-centered and heart and really come from who we are as beings. You see that individual is just as powerful as yourself, right? You understand that nobody is above you or below you. No one. No one. No one knows more than you do. No one has more gifts than you do. No one. We need to start understanding that. We need to start believing that. We need to start hearing this on a regular basis. We need to start empowering ourselves, loving ourselves, opening up our heart a little bit more. You know, the more we're allowed, the more we allow this illumination flame. So it's the second ray. It's this golden yellow ray that can come in and really electrify this heart, right? And merge our higher selves with our ego in this heart. The more we allow this to kind of open up, right? The more we allow ourselves to step outside of our lives, the more we allow ourselves to step away from the experience and the structure and all of that, the more you're able to see that it's just a playground. And we're all waking up at different times, in different ways, for different reasons. And our ego is part of it. And nobody's here to tell you how to do it right. You know, we're all going through it. We're all watching everybody else go through it. And no one's doing it better than anyone else. So remember that you're doing it even if you don't do anything. Remember there's nothing you need to do. Remember that if you do want to do something, right, there are things that you can do to assist this, to make it a little bit more understandable. But there's nothing you need to do. And that every single thing you're doing right now is exactly what you're supposed to be doing. Start there. Start there. Start with the compassion and the empathy for you. That where you are right now is divinely perfect. And it's not going to look like anybody else's now. Your now isn't going to look like anybody else's. Your awakening isn't going to look like anybody else's. Your gifts aren't going to look like anybody else's. So breaking up that paradigm of I'm the teacher and you're the follower, right? Breaking up that paradigm of, and it's an ego structure. It's an ego structure that is beautiful but doesn't serve us any longer, right? So breaking that up. Coming back to you, knowing that you have everything within you, that you are the universe in one single tiny spark. And yes, I know that's spiritual, mumbo jumbo, but it's also the truth. It's also the truth. And remember that no one's better than you or less than you. No one. And just be grateful. Be grateful that that you are where you are, that you hear what you hear, that you chose to come down here and move through this, that you're assisting other people through this, and be gentle with yourself. Be gentle with yourself. I think that is it for me and my message today. I missed a couple of the IG lives this morning. I was really just sitting in this energy so that I could bring it through to you guys without my ego sort of deciding what it wanted to say and not say. Anyways, I love you all so much. I didn't watch any of the comments. I'm very sorry. What ends up happening with me when I'm here is that I get into this space where I get distracted if I start to read. And so it's not that I don't want to read all of your comments. I just, I can't quite do it yet. I have to stay focused in what I'm hearing and feeling and letting it flow through me. So I apologize if I'm not engaging with all of you. I also just want all of you to know that there has been some very, very, very powerful, powerful light that has been transmitted through this message. Really heart-opening light that brings me to tears when I think about it. So know that your heart has been cracked open a little bit more through this, and that you are powerful, powerful beings beyond your knowing, and that you're doing it. And I love you all so much. Hi, Sarah. I'll have this on my YouTube channel. It will save. My YouTube channel is Lori of Lemuria, if you want to watch the IG lives that I've been doing. That is it. I will leave you with that and see you all tomorrow. I think it's going to be a little bit different tomorrow, different time. You too, Sarah. Have a great day. It'll be a little bit different time, and there will be a guest. Who's next, Heather? I don't know who's next. Who's next? Hi, Tessa. Thank you so much. Love you. Let's see. Kat. Heather, are you following Evolve Kat? She's at 2. I don't know when Joe's going. I know that Kelly already went this morning and Brandy went this morning, but I know you were on Brandy's. So, I don't know, just follow everyone, and I'll message you as well on Facebook when someone pops on if you're not on there. Heather loves to follow all of us, you guys. It's great. Okay, my loves. I love you all so much. Thank you for being part of this journey and this experience. And so many blessings to you all. See you tomorrow. Love you. Bye.